Adam passed away. He, Charlene texted me and she said, "Would you please do his eulogy?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." Well, in all honesty, I thought she was talking about writing his obituary, and I started researching it and everything, and I was like, "Oh no, a eulogy, that's where you gotta talk." So I was like, "Oh, well, I already committed," so I said, "Okay." So for, what's it been, 2 weeks now? All right, probably gotta stop that. So for the past 2 weeks now, I've been thinking about what to say. And you are quite the adjuster, Paul. HB! So, anyway, I started thinking, I said, okay, I have to think of something nice to say about Adam. And I started thinking of all these stories. You can. Well, I thought of all those times. I thought, those are all stories I can't tell at a eulogy. I was like, yeah. And I literally developed like a writer's block. And I was like, oh, what in the world can I say about Adam? And this went on for quite some time. Well, I do have a story, and it's actually not even really about Adam. I had the honor last summer of celebrating Adam's birthday with Charlene, and she invited several other people, but it was a hot summer weekday and nobody else was able to show up, so it was just the three of us. And it was a wonderful evening. Well, around about 9 o'clock that evening, I start hearing somebody singing coming up the steps, and it was Paul here, and he was coming in with this little cake and has a little sparkler lid on it, and he walks in singing happy birthday, and I was sitting on the couch and the two of them came together, and I was like, wow. And that's the love between both of their eyes was just amazing. And I thought, well, that's just awesome, especially knowing the condition that Adam was in and everything. I knew it was sacred. Well, anyway, that kind of sets the table. I don't really have a story, but that's kind of how it starts. One thing I can say about Adam, I've known Adam for over 40 years, and there's not one time that I can think of, or any story that I've ever heard that Adam's ever deceived, manipulated, or lied to anybody. And that's the honest truth. Now, how many people can you say about that? You can't say that about me, because I've bullshitted you here and there. I can't think of one time. Maybe you can. I can't. We're here at the celebration of life, and it hit me about in the beginning of Adam. Is this better? Is Paul right? Is this better?
No.
Okay, see, they can hear me better. So anyway, I started realizing that Adam's really one of the closest, dearest friends I've ever had that I lost. I've lost many friends, but not friends that go up to the 40-year range of a relationship. And I realized, I was quite a loss. One day I was just struggling what to write, and it was a beautiful morning, cold morning, chilly morning, but the sun was out, and it felt wonderful. And then all of a sudden it became cloudy, and the wind picked up, and all of a sudden it wasn't near as nice anymore. And I was like, this is what I'm going through with Adam. It's like it's just a cloud. And it kind of hit me. I started thinking about that. I was like, you know what though? It's a cloud, but the light's still there. The love is still there. It's just not like it disappeared. It's just a cloud that's covered the light. And that's what all this is about. Darkness is just a shadow of the light. It's as natural as day is to night. You wouldn't know if you didn't know darkness, you wouldn't know light, just like you wouldn't know truth if you didn't know lies. But this is the moment that the cloud is moving away, and there's so much tremendous love in this room, it's insane. Adam had he was so authentically loving that I knew it every time. Never was there a time that he didn't say, "I love you, brother," when I showed up, and "I love you, brother," when we left. And the same goes with all you guys. And luckily, I have the same relationship with a lot of y'all. So, I mean, that's just amazing. I swear, writing this, I could almost feel Adam next to me, giving me that smile, when you stand up for him. He he always he'll put his hand around you and say, "I love you, brother." And I say, "I love you too." And I swear, I feel like I could smell his breath, and I say that endearingly. But, I feel like going, "Adam, we love you too. We know you love us." Unconditional love is a term that's used. You're supposed to love your wife unconditionally. You're supposed to love your children unconditionally. I think that's impossible. I was married for 20 years, and I asked my wife, I told my ex-wife, I said, I checked with this speech. I said, you're married and everything. Your wife turns into a crackhead and starts walking the streets. That's a condition. I'm sorry. And and see the same with your children. You don't even pick your children, your family, and everything. You'll always love them, but it is a condition. But you have a certain monicum of understanding with your friend. It's a special kind of love. You're not attached to them, monetarily, and it's just your friend turns to a crackhead. Hopefully it gets better. But that love still stays the same. It's a true friend you don't see for years and years, and you see them one day, and it's just like you saw them yesterday. And that's the kind of love that Adam had with all of us. We are his true family.
Yes.
Wealth comes in many different ways, many scales to what wealth is. Of course, friendship is about the most wealth you can possibly have. If you to pick between money and wealth, and friendship, I would pick friendship. It'd be great to have both, but I'm sure there's many lonely, wealthy people out there. How lucky we are to have friends. Most people don't have friends like we have right here. No can't, Paul. Adam is very wealthy. I just want to say in conclusion that through life, all the confusion and just the craziness, dark days are always going to come. We should always never take for granted our friendship that we had with Adam and we have with each other here. And I say it should be our identity, and it should be, enhanced, and just everybody should, know that. Anyway, thank you very much, and God bless y'all.
Come on, Paul.
Who wants to talk?
Paul.
Come on,
Come
Paul.
on, Paul. You can do it.
Oh boy,
We got you,
how do I
man.
follow that up?
Hold the mic closer.
Everybody knows Adam and I met in high school at Lee, 1981.
I did.
Homeroom, tortured the girls, tortured the teachers.
Just.
Our connections were money, skateboarding, music. We just had a lot of connections right off the bat. And he became one of my very closest friends very early in the days. And from there on, it just went and went and went and grew and grew. We could carry on a conversation with slang, and nobody could even understand what we were saying, which, all of us did at some point. We ended up moving into the Munster Mansion, which y'all knew about. We worked and lived together, which was a total struggle, because working and living with people doesn't work out too well sometimes. Lots of stories I could go into there. But anyway, Adam was a great soul. And that's what the bottom line is. He loved everyone, just like Jimmy said. Every time I saw him, he told me he loved me. Every time I left him, he told me he loved me. And that's what it's all about right here, you know. Doesn't matter what you do, how you live your life. It's all about what's in your heart. And that's what makes people good people. So I'm going to miss my buddy. I'm glad y'all all came. This is amazing turnout. I'm really stoked that we have so many people here that really cared and loved about Adam. He was a great dude. And I'm going to miss him immensely. Thanks for being here, y'all.
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to say anything?
I also want to say how beautiful it is to see the love and support that Adam Hartman had. It's amazing. He was a man with a heart, and he never met a stranger. He just, everywhere he went, he made friends and was so sweet and kind. Even through his hard health, he was sweet and kind. I want to thank everyone for being here. I want to thank all the women that came together to help with this tremendous food that we have today. I want to, Charlene, her mom, family have done such a good job for Adam's day to day. They put their heart and soul into it, not to mention everyone else that was involved. Okay, and I want to share something. Charlene was going through Adam's journal, and I mean, not like that one, but
Yeah, well, no, I don't want to double checking stuff.
as a matter of fact, before I share this with y'all, she said this morning that he had a statement in his journal, or was it his?
I better be dead if y'all are reading this.
Yes.
So,
Anyways, I want to share this with y'all today because this is appropriate for today, being that all his friends and loved ones are here. And it goes like this. Yesterday, I took my time. Yesterday, I dropped a line. I don't really have that much to do. I just want to spend some time with you. Hey, friends, let's have a good time. Let's go out and have a drink or two. Hey, friends, let's have a blast. I just want to spend some time with you. And here we all are. This is what he wanted. So I want to share with y'all. I also want to share my little story about Adam that I tell it all the time because there's many stories, but the one that stands out to me the most is I know people think, oh, you know, he lived with his dad, this, that, what have you. He took great care of his dad. I mean, immensely. It's a hard task. I'm doing it myself, so I know. And one Thanksgiving, he invited us over, Paul and I, and we dropped in, and I walked in, and there was a spread like this right here today, almost, not that quite, but he had turkey, ham, stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravy, desserts. I mean, wow. It went on and on, and I'm like, oh, God, somebody had to help you with this. I mean, did you order it? Did you cater it in? What? No, I cooked all this for me and my dad. And I thought that was so, wow, I couldn't get that off my mind. I thought, this man, you know, men don't cook, you know, or something like that. But he took the time to make a feast for him and his father, you know? And it was very touching, very, I don't know.
Adam was a great cook.
It was a chef
Yes,
at one time.
I can attest
Yeah,
to
he was a
that.
chef at one time. So anyways, I just want to share that with y'all. it impressed me so much. I tell that story every time I can, and because you know, us women know how hard it is to make Thanksgiving dinner, and it takes a lot of hands, and he did it all by himself that day. So, shout out to Adam. We love you, Adam.
Yeah.
And woo!
Shannon's turn.
Next.
Shannon.
Sorry, y'all, this is just gonna be real brief. He had the most beautiful soul from anybody I ever knew. He was just always just beautiful and kind and funny. And it feels so wrong to be talking about him in the past tense. But I know wherever he is, he's spreading that beauty and that love that he had for everybody. And I consider myself very blessed to have been his friend. And very blessed to be all of your friends too.
He's right here.
Yep.
He's right here, Shannon. Brandis.
Dog story. Dog story. It's funny.
Brandis.
I got a memory.
Go ahead.
I got
Thank
a
you,
memory.
Mike.
Anybody wants to say anything, come up.
Hi guys. I've known Adam about 20 years through my wife Dee. He was one of the greatest guys in the world. I'm a drummer by trade, but it was a while back, 2007. It was a memory I had of him. He approached me and he said, "Man, we're gonna redo the Blaine Cruise Band, and we need a second guitar player." I said, he goes, "I've seen you play acoustic guitar. You need to come and do that. It's like 2 days off." And I was like, "Man, I don't know. Let me, I can do power chords or whatnot." So we go and we practice in the storage place over there off of West Connect and Blandon. And I'm in there the first night, and I'm playing and I'm learning these songs. When I get about through 2 songs, and I'm not a guitar player, so my fingers are bleeding. And I'm like, "Man, this hurts." So he teaches me super glue. And I'm like, "Man, I just really don't think I'm going to be able to do these 10 songs. And he looks at me and he goes, "Don't worry about it. It's just punk rock." And I said, "Okay." So the show gets there, and we're on stage at Yesterday's, and Blaine is just shit-faced. And it's just punk rock. Surprise, right? And so I get up there, and we get it going. It gets pumped up. We start playing. Blaine jumps around and face plants, like 30 seconds into the song, into the floor, off the stage. Steve cuts the power off, and that's it. And he turns to me and he looks and he goes, "I told you to have to learn those songs. It's just punk rock." And that was the end of the show. It lasted all of about 45 seconds. You were, yes. You remember that. Right? But just to say, man, this guy, he'd give you the shirt off his back. He'd help you out anytime you wanted. I mean, even if you didn't see him a lot of the times, and you spend a little bit of time away because life takes you in different directions sometimes, when you did run into him, it was just like you didn't skip a beat. It was beautiful. And there's two words in my mind always. It reminds me of Adam, Gibson Thunderbird. And he loved his Thunderbirds. And I have beautiful memories of this cat, and I'll always cherish him, man, and he'll always be there. And like I say, thanks, guys, everybody, for coming out for this. This is awesome. There's a lot of love in this room.
Right. He always lingers.
All right. Here's what we got. It's, man, I think it was about 1988. I had some buddies, they were in a band called Invader. And their rivals were Leather Nun.
The convent.
So, I grew up with John Gokenauer. And me and Mick Ripper in Benzing lived over there on Ingleside and Park. And what we did, what we did is, Benzing didn't drink, but me and Mick would go get a cold beer, and we watched John Gokenauer's older brother paint that leather nut logo. It was so beautiful. But anyway, somebody throws a cinder block through that damn window, and they blamed it on me.
No.
And I'm like, dude, check this out. If I'm gonna throw a cinder block through your window, I'll do it when you're there.
Window crusher.
So, we were banned. Anyway, Thomas Maddox.
Rest his soul.
Rest in peace.
Thomas was security. So me and Mick decided what we're gonna do is we're gonna go down to the Army Navy surplus store and buy some military gear and paint our face like skeletons and put on a hat with some barbed wire around it, and nobody will know who we are. And we're gonna go crash the party. So, I wish I would have been able to find it, but I have a picture of me and Mick Ripper arguing. Actually, it's me. I got a bottle of Jack Daniels in my hand and a can of Sprite. And I'm arguing. I'm like, dude, I didn't throw the cinder block through the window. And anyway, Adam and Thomas are in this picture.
The two nicest souls on the planet.
Oh, man. Anyway, they called the cops on us.
Oh, shit.
So anyway, the cop comes in and we get put in the back of the cop car. I still got a bottle of Jack. And I'm like, look, man, I'm like the 18. I didn't commit the crime. Anyway, the cop goes, y'all walk your ass home. We did. Then, 3 years later, I'm dating this chick and she goes, hey, a friend of mine bought a new trailer. Let's go check it out. So I'm like, all right. So we go over there, and I didn't really know the chick. I sit down on the couch with this one dude, and we start talking about music. And he goes, yeah, man. I'm like, yeah, my buddy was in Vader, and they used to play with Level 9. He goes, you know what? Jimmy Evans owed me money for drum equipment. I threw a cinder block through his damn. He's the guy that threw the damn. I didn't know whether to hug him or punch him.
Not Jimmy.
Hey.
I remember those days.
Anyway, Adam, Thomas, man.
Yeah.
Much love.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Well, we all have plenty of stories to tell, whether they're suitable or not. Anybody else have anything?
Anybody else have anything to say? Robert Travis. Anything to say? I know
I
you
can sit here and tell stories all night.
So then where am I at when we're talking?
Yeah. Adam complaining about Fred's driving.
Oh yeah. Hey, let's talk about Eric Durham.
He was more of a nervous wreck than Fred was.
You. No, you.
Either going too slow, stopping too much before the freaking red light.
He would lean back and put the brakes on.
Like I said, I mean, I could sit here and tell stories all night, but that's not what this is all about. It's just, about being here for Adam and that's why we're all here. Because we all loved him. He was a beautiful person. And, that's why we're all here.
I would.
Yeah.
Woo! I wasn't.
So, Adam's last fishing trip was with Harriet and Eric Durham.
And I explained to Eric Durham at like 6 o'clock in the morning that Adam's medication made him dizzy. So watch him when we're on the dock. So Adam was trying to pull the dock, the boat close to the dock, and Eric Durham discovered ninja skills he never had because Adam missed the boat and fell into the creek. And Eric Durham picked him up and threw him into the boat. And Harry and I were like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, we gotta warm him, we gotta warm him, we gotta warm him. So that was like one of the most best, funnest times on the planet. And now my son and my mommy wanna talk. Oh, good sport. My mommy and my son have always, and my daddy have always supported Adam and Paul and Sissy and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, Adam has so much kindness and so much of a big heart. And he influenced with the marching band when my son was in marching band before he graduated from high school. And we have the Travises, and we have all these kids that just randomly showed up for the Oak Leaf Golden Regiment to be here. And everybody just loves Adam, right? And Adam loves everybody. He never met a stranger.
So my mom is Charlene, who was Adam's girlfriend for the last 8 years, and 10 years. Okay. So yeah, I didn't know Adam the way many of you have met him or know him. So honestly, to me, he was one of the most gentle, artistic, empathetic male souls that I've had in my life, and he's an incredible person, and his loss is a loss for all of us.
Yeah.
Yes.
He wouldn't want us to be sad, but it's kind of hard not to be, right?
Right.
We all love him, so.
All right, anybody else?
Anybody else?
Anybody else want to say anything? Otherwise, we won't get this party going.
All right, I'm ready for shots.
I also want to thank the owners of Eclipse, our wonderful DJ